So this video right here is gonna be the gooseneck hitch, and then at the end of it, I run some conduit on the frame rails for the wiring. That's something I like to do that, and it really saves a lot of time when it comes time to wire it. It's just little details while you're putting it together. If you kind of think ahead of what you're gonna be having to do, you make a lot of things that's coming a lot easier. But this will be gooseneck hitch and some conduit, and it'll stop there. And today I'm working on the headache rack, so I'll be filming some of that. But hope you enjoy it. Got this all cleaned up. This will be the main plate that's going to slide up in the frame. This is going to be the main structure of the gooseneck hitch. And this is something I do on these things. It's probably a little bit of overkill, but I like doing them. But it is already 1/2-inch plate. But anyway, on the back side of the plate where the ball comes through, I always cut another plate, and then we'll weld it, and it just gives it that much more support right there where the ball hooks up to it. And I really like the warm fuzzy feeling that gives me, I guess. Two inches. Two. Okay. Like I said, it'll actually be the bottom. I'm just using the ball to line it up right now. I'll get some tacks on that. Put some gloves on. Right. We got the gooseneck plate set down in here. Let's slide her up to the middle. It fit nicely. Well, I said that. Right in there is where it's going. Bring that front up, bring it up a little bit. All right.
Too much.
That's pretty good. All right. That's about perfect. Get that kind of squared up. All right. So that. Let's see what the ball looks like. I spaced this up with the channels so it wasn't so deep. And the top of this should be just below the deck. I'm just checking things out right now. So we're about 2 inches below the deck. That'll be perfect. Still got enough room to get in there and weld. I need to check center on it. That'll be about it. We can tack that off. $47.5. $47.3/8. Still close. Really 47.7/16. That's 47.5. Else that'll be same as the other again. Can live with that. Make sure I mess my square up. Check that again. Where's that? Got that tacked off. I'm gonna pull a few measurements and start cutting some of these plates. Probably just time lapse a lot of that. Generally what we're gonna do is put a 1/2 inch plate across here to make the box for the hitch to sit in, and then we'll gusset the back side of it. So it'll be 4 gussets, 2 plates, and then probably put another plate out here at the end after I weld the inside of these. But that's the gist of where this is going. got all our plates cut. I even got the gussets cut. These is gonna go up here. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna get in here and weld these things, and he's cleaning the other plates and gussets up. But these welds will be blocked off when I get done plating it. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld those out, and then I'll be back with you when we get ready to tack up these other pieces. So we got all our plates cut, and we'll get this tacked up. This should go pretty easily. Let's put Legos together. Where? All right. All right. So, Jack, will you hand me that soapstone right there? 3, 4.5. So, okay, 4.25. I'm gonna set this on 4.25. Hey, go get me that file. Soapstone sharpener. Yes, Dolce. So what I did, I just set that on 4.25. You lay it up on the edge right here, and then just take your soapstone. Channels in the way. And mark you a nice straight line to work with.
These will never be seen. You could just throw them in here if you wanted to, but it'd bother me. Go get me that hammer from the burn table. Yes, sir. So what we'll do, I'll take all 4 of them off. And then these inside plates set up against them, we'll take them off. I'll probably go to a time lapse now. So we got all these plates tacked in and these gussets. I've been accused of overbuilding these in the past. I know I do, but it's something we're kind of known for. My thing is, all you can think about is the family of 5 in the minivan beside this thing going down the highway if it did come apart. So we always kind of overdo them, but never had a problem with one. Never had anything break, crack, bend. No issues with them. So this is how we do them. I got them all tacked up. I'm gonna weld them out next, and probably go to time lapse for that. And that's I gotta add 2 D rings. I cut these holes in these plates. The 7-way trailer plug will go in this back one, and I taper these gussets down so I can hang my conduit from the bottom of the frame rail for the lights that, or for the power that comes here for this plug, and then the power that goes to the front for the lights up on the headache rack and the marker lights on the rub rail. But if you don't leave that out, you ain't got room for them to come up through here, and I like to keep those on the inside of the frame rails, so that's why those are the way they are. But anyway, I'm gonna go to welding and be back with you shortly. All right, so we got a gooseneck hitch in, all welded out, and the next thing we're gonna start on is the headache rack. But first, while we got everything apart, you got to start thinking about wiring. And what we're gonna do is go ahead and run some conduits from the back to the front, and these will be for the wiring in the headache rack. That it'll have reverse lights and brake lights and turn signals up there. But instead of trying to just fish wire up through there, I always put nice conduit in it. Your wiring always comes back. I always do them driver's side rear. Right in here we'll mount a box, and that's where everything will come to and terminate. And I buy these boxes with a terminal block in it, and I wire everything independently so you can makes it really easy to troubleshoot if you ever had a problem. But everything will come back to that box, and then the truck wiring will come into it and tie on to everything right there. So that always works out pretty nice. But before we put the deck on, and before we get too much further, we'll go ahead. I got some 3/4 inch EMT, and we'll slide it up through the frame rails, and we'll bend a 90 on them. We'll get them tacked off, and we'll have that done and over with. We'll have it knocked out. But that's what we're about to work on now. Probably just time lapse that again. There's really nothing to explain, just the fact of doing it. But that's where we're at. We're makes pretty good headway. You start to take shape. We get the headache rack on it, it'll really take shape. And then the back bumper and all with the lights and all in that's probably my favorite part. But that's where we're at. All right, that's got our conduits in it. We got one coming to the gooseneck hitch. We got our two going to the front, each side of the headache rack. I got one long one going across the back for the tail lights, turn signals, reverse lights, and all on that side. And I got one going halfway to the middle. That'll hit your 3 marker lights in the middle of the back of the bed. So our gooseneck hitch done. We got our electrical conduit run, ready for wiring. So tomorrow, next thing's gonna be we're gonna do our headache rack, and she'll really start to take shape then. And depending on how that goes, we might start on the back bumper tomorrow too. But it's really starting to look like something now. But that's gonna be it for this video. Well, thanks for watching. That's all our gooseneck hitch and conduit and whatnot. Working on the headache rack today. We're filming a lot of that, but that'll be the next one. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe and like the video. If you got any questions, comment down below. And we'll be posting part 3 probably tomorrow. But like I say, thanks for watching, everybody.